Hi, this is Allison coming at you from My Space to Craft with an out of this world scrapbook page that I did at my recent retreat. Here I'm unpacking the page kit that I put together using some Shimelle cut aparts. I found a nice piece of blue cardstock that matched the blue in the Vicki Boutin heart paper and an orange paper that I'm going to use, which is also from the Shimelle paper pack, main character energy paper pack for my base. And then I pulled a number of cut aparts also from the main character energy by Shimelle to add to the page. The picture is from a trip my family took to the Netherlands several years ago and we stayed there prior to a cruise, and it's of my daughter and I dressed in traditional Dutch costumes in one of those little tourist shops in a tourist area, and we did that just to be a little silly and have a little fun, but it was such a cute picture that we were happy with the way it came out, and it's a fun memory of our time in the Netherlands, which we really enjoyed. We went and saw the windmills, we walked all over Amsterdam and the Van Gogh Museum and the Rijksmuseum, and then saw cheese making and clog making and all sorts of things. So here I've decided to kind of do a third of a page, but I'm cutting a strip. It's about a 3 to 4 inch strip of that heart paper, which is so bold and graphic. I just love it. And then this orange paper has little white dots on it. Just trying to make sure I get the whole branding strip off it. So that's going to be my base. And this video is sped up just a little bit. And I'm trying to decide if I want it as a border strip or as a side strip. And I really like keeping the little bit of the orange on the other side of it. Then just trying to figure out layout and where my clusters could go, depending on where I lay this picture. And Shimelle always does a diagonal, and she always does that directional diagonal. So I'm talking about that. And then I can put the title there at the top. I'm going to use Joyful for the title. Of course, recently I just thought I could have come up with something a little more creative, like Double Dutch or something. And then I'm just wondering if I need something to bridge that gap, and what I want to do with these two strips that I included in my kit. So I definitely am going to mat the photo, and I decided to start bringing out that blue. Here I'm just talking about the photo and our silly little costumes. There's also quite a bit of black in the photo, and so I do bring in some black at the end. Shimelle's paper doesn't have a lot of black in it, and so I did manage to find a few things. An additional butterfly that had black on it, and then I added some black splatters at the end that I'm not sure if you'll see in the end picture, because that may have been an afterthought, but we'll see. I'm using some scrapbook.com dotted adhesive. This is a Cricut trimmer, which I really do like, but I'm hearing that it's maybe discontinued or hard to get the blades or something, so I may have to be switching. I like the format of it. I'm sorry if you can hear that noise in the background. That is my dog licking the remnants of her breakfast out of her bowl. So I may have to be switching trimmers. I do have an extra blade, so I'm going to use this one for as long as I can. So I do like it. It's not too heavy. It expands out to 12 inches. It seems to be real sturdy. It cuts accurately. There are some similar ones out there, so I'm not worried about that. So I decided to mat this with a piece of white cardstock and then the blue, just so it could stand out better. And I know some folks are really good at trimming using scissors on big pictures. I'm just not that confident. I'm not even that confident using my trimmer. Sometimes I get a little too close or a little too far. See, a little too close. I'm going to move the picture to make it adjust. Oh, I'm thinking it's not quite straight. And when I do trim things, I always try and put the body of whatever I'm trimming on the longer side of the trimmer for more stability. I did ink those edges, and that's really good about hiding any imperfections that you might have as well. So that's always a good hint if your trimmer is leaving a little or not quite straight, or you use scissors and it's not quite straight. A little black ink goes a long way to hide any imperfections. So I always call this out of this world scrapbooking, but really it's totally the real world where nothing is perfect. So I'm ready to start sticking a few things down. Still wondering about those flowers. Nope. Don't like it. It just didn't, it was too much contrast. I wasn't feeling it. So I've said before, I like relatively simple. The engineer in me comes out at times like this. And I like things pretty straightforward. Though I am working on my layering. As you will see as this page progresses, I do layer quite a few things in the clusters. So here I'm just looking at this fun cut-apart sheet. The thing I like about the cut-apart sheet is that there's so many different sizes and motifs that you can choose on here. So I'm just looking at some of the stamps that I might like. That will go with it and pull out some of the colors in it. So I'm pulling out some things that have some blues, different tags, some reds and oranges. And now, of course, I want something from the middle. So I am trimming out some of these little short borders. Decided, since it's also a heart motif, that might work on the page somewhere in one of my layers. Then I also decide on a few others. I know I take another stamp from somewhere. Just deciding which ones I like. So even though I had cut some ephemera or pulled some ephemera from the ephemera packs, using these cut aparts really gave me a lot more options of things to use on the page. I think I'm a little bit sad that I'm foregoing all that awesome purple star paper. I'm pretty sure that I pull one of these tags off of this sheet also, the blue one. I use that as a sort of a tuck spot that I can journal on. Sorry about that. There's a dog barking in the backyard, and my dog decided to join in. So I'm going to use this little tag. Still kind of shopping for ephemera. So I'm happy with those. And then pulling out the ones that from the ephemera packs that I had previously pulled. And I was just keeping those during this retreat. I was just keeping those in a little square container just so I didn't lose them on my desk, which I have a bad habit of doing. So now I'm going to start laying out my little cluster areas. And this is where I'm really working on trying to do layers, tuck things under. So I'm wondering if I want to trim out that square sentiment. Trying to figure out. I definitely want these hearts on the page. I just can't figure out where I might want them. And then I decide to add it to the area of that title. So this is, for me, this is the fun part of making a page. I hem and haw quite a bit about creating the base page, and then it's just fun to audition pieces in different locations and figure out how you want things to look. And the page just really comes together at this stage. So where do you want to put things? And I'm trying not to leave little valleys and gullies anywhere. And then I'm always trying to make sure that I have 3 of things, trying to work in triples. Basically finished. Everything is inked, everything's put down. There's an extra black butterfly in the background in the top left corner. And this page is done. I was pretty happy with it. I really apologize for not getting a good close-up picture of it or holding it up. I need to do better about that. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for another Out of This World scrapbook page.